Hello everybody and welcome to your Finance Helper. Today we'll be focusing on the present and future value of an annuity. An annuity was another special case of where you have a stream of cash flows. So an annuity, well, it is a stream of unequal cash flows paid at regular intervals. This was very similar to the perpetuity we previously covered. The only difference between an annuity and a perpetuity is that an annuity is finite, where a perpetuity is infinite. So looking at the present value formula, we again assume that there is no cash flow in date 0. It begins at date 1. So an example of this could again be that you invest $100 at an interest of 5%. You will then be able to withdraw $5 in interest every period. This will continue forever and ever if this is a perpetuity. However, when it is an annuity, it will eventually end. This could be, for instance, after a period of 20 years, for instance. So calculating the present value of an annuity, the formula is right here, and it looks a little bit complicated. How it actually isn't. I'm not going into details regarding how we derive the formula, because I don't see that relevant for you. The formula can also be presented this way, and it depends on how you choose to calculate it. I personally believe that the first one is the best. However, I will show you this in a demonstration problem. So if you imagine that you are the lucky winner of $30 million, you can take your prize money by either 30 payments of $1 million per year starting today, or 50 million paid today. If the interest rate is 8%, which option would you take? So let's look at the solution. If we start by using our first formula, we plug in the cash flow of $1 million. And you then take your take 1 and divide it by the interest rate, which was 0.08. You say 1 minus your minus the 1 divided by the interest rate factor, and right here it is pretty important that you choose the right amount of years. So you will be going to have 29 years that you will have these payments. So I'm going to look a little bit why you have 29 periods and why you don't choose 30. So you choose 29 periods because you receive the first 1 million today. We are going to add the million after we receive, after we calculate for the first 29 periods. So when we get the present value of that, which was $11.16 million, we add the remaining $1 million that you get up front, what the get today. You can also choose to calculate this another way, which was by using our previous formula, or the second formula that was shown to us. So you simply plug in the same amount. This will give us $11.26 million. So here we just take the 30 periods and then we calculate the future value for this. The reason why is because we depreciated the amount that we would receive today. However, we shouldn't do that because these money haven't lost any value. So we simply compound this amount by the interest rate factor, and it gives us the same results. The future value of annuity can also be calculated, and we do that using the formula right here. This is simply just a rearrangement of the present value formula. I'm not going to go into details regarding that. How we have our cash flow multiplied by 1 divided by our interest rate. We take the we then compound it, and then we minus by 1. This is very useful if you want to find out how your savings account grows over time. So if we go through a demonstration problem for this as well, if we assume that David is 35 years old and he's decided it is time to plan for his retirement, at the end of the year, until he's 65 years old, he will save $10,000 in a retirement account. If the account earns 10% per year, how much will David have saved at age 65? So the solution for this, and one thing that is very important, is that you don't get confused about age and dates. Right here there are 30 payments because you have one payment at the end of when you are 35, and then you have an payment at the end of when you are 65. You cannot just subtract the amounts from each other. That will give you 29 payments. So the way we calculate this is by we take the $10,000, multiply it by 1 divided by 0.10. We multiply it by our interest rate factor, so 1.10 to the power of 30, and then we minus it by 1. This gives us $645 million. So if David, well, the way you interpret this is that at the age of 65, if David saves $10,000 for 30 years and he earns 10% per year, he would eventually have $1.645 million in his account. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. I am your finance helper, and I'll see you next time.